Hello, my stars, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Basil, and today I will be reading the second fic in of Intellect and Fruit. This fic is called Fruit in Various Places. Again, it's by Witty Jinx, so you can go check them out on AO3. But yeah, here's the summary. Return of Nezu and Midoriya, friendship, internship, student, whatever it is. Midoriya is a Quirkless genius, and Nezu loved training him, but everyone else hates it. Midoriya Izuku had become a staple at UA. Aizawa was used to seeing him around. Usually, the kid was following Nezu, the loyal student, taking notes, imagining up battle tactics, and analyzing quirks, all under the guidance of the principal. Aizawa hoped, that would be the end of it. He hoped that he wouldn't have to see the kid that much, and hoped he'd make it to retirement before the kid was fully trained. Things never work out in his favor, though, especially with the year's Class 1A. Aizawa didn't want a kid to be shadowing him, especially that kid, Midoriya Izuku, Nezu's latest intern? Protege? Secret love child? Anyway, Nezu's student was sitting in the back of Aizawa's classroom. For no apparent reason. He just plopped in, sitting down like he was waiting for something, or someone. Bakugou stepped into the room, approached Aizawa's desk, probably with a question, but Bakugou didn't make it very far before he noticed the green-haired intern in the back of the room. "What the hell are you doing here, shitty nerd?" Bakugou snapped, before Aizawa could warn him. Midoriya took a big bite out of the apple, the loudest crunch as the skin snapped. "I missed breakfast. Don't mind the apple," Midoriya said around a mouthful of apple. "Don't mind the... Why are you different?" Bakugou asked, taking a small step back as Midoriya swallowed, and then took another bite. "Well," he chewed thoughtfully, before continuing. "You see, Kachan," Midoriya took another bite. "I can't really bring myself to care about your feelings." Piece he had bitten off was balanced between his teeth as he finished the sentence. Once the last word was out, he tilted his head back and continued chewing up his apple. A long pause, another bite. "It's just..." Midoriya started again, taking another bite. Nothing personal to you. I'm just over it," he said, before nodding to himself, continuing to eat the apple. And Bakugou? Bakugou just seemed very confused. Very, very confused. "The fuck?" he said quickly, staring at Midoriya, who was taking another large bite out of the apple. "I told you not to mind the apple. You always make such a big deal of things," Midoriya said, still eating, but pausing for a second. You! Bakugou started, voice drifting into anger, and Aizawa thought he would have to break up the fight, until Midoriya interrupted Bakugou. "Shush! Just chill! Vibe with me for a second," Midoriya said, chucking an apple towards Bakugou, who dodged it. The apple dirtled into the wall beside Aizawa, smushing a little, leaving a wet spot. "What? No!" Bakugou said, seeming more confused, glancing at where the apple had rolled to a stop by his foot. Midoriya looked up from his half-eaten apple, eyes fixed on Bakugou, almost seeming to glow a bright green. "You've rejected my apple?" he asked. "You've rejected my apple?" he asked, voice low and vaguely threatening. This, Bakugou seemed to respond well to. He relaxed slightly, almost used to arguments, which opened up so many concerning boxes, but Aizawa couldn't deal with that right now. "Yeah, I rejected your apple. What are you going to do about it, shitty nerd?" he snapped, almost growling at Midoriya, who just smiled. "Throw a banana at you." The statement was accompanied by a flying boomerang of yellow fruit. colliding into the wall again, only a little bit higher than where the apple hit. The banana didn't roll, and it only seemed to make Bakugou more confused and angry. Midoriya looked almost pissed. "What the hell?" Bakugou yelled, and Midoriya snapped. "Stop dodging my fruit!" He yelled back, and Bakugou just raised his hands, almost in defeat, but also in confusion and anger. There were a lot of emotions. Aizawa just wanted to sleep. "Where are you pulling these from?" Bakugou yelled, and Midoriya's angry expression dropped, shifting into an almost pleasant smile. Aizawa only says an almost pleasant smile because he's seen that smile on Nezu. He sees the corruption that Nezu has already caused, teaching the green-haired boy his trade secrets while showing him how to harness the power of his mind. Aizawa was no longer sure that he would retire before this kid became principal. Regardless of however many teaching years he might have left. "A magician never reveals his secrets," Midoriya said happily, grinning, whipping out another fruit. This one squishier as it hit the wall. It would have hit Aizawa in the head if he hadn't dodged. And Bakugou had to fully duck to avoid that one. Was Midoriya throwing curveballs with fruit? "Where the hell did you get the kiwi?" Bakugou yelled, and Aizawa decided enough is enough. He doesn't know how much more of this he can take. "Enough!" he said, and Midoriya just smiled even brighter. "Sorry, Aizawa, I'll be going now," he said, pulling away from the back of the room, starting to go towards the entrance. "No, you won't. I'm sending you to..." Aizawa started before he realized. He couldn't threaten this kid. He couldn't inspire the same fear that Aizawa liked. He couldn't threaten expulsion. He couldn't do anything. "Sending me to Nezu? Golly, that's where I'm going anyway. I'll just tell Nezu that you said hi. Okay? Okay." Midoriya said, and then, "What the fuck just happened?" Bakugou asked, his anger drooping as he turned towards Aizawa. Aizawa didn't really know how to answer. "That is Nezu's new intern," he tried, and Bakugou squinted as Aizawa sat back at his desk. "Intern? That shitty Quirkless nerd?" he asked, and Aizawa shrugged. "Don't ask me. I'm not paid enough to figure out Midoriya," he said, starting to doze off at his desk. "Actually, as of right now, you are, Aizawa," chirped the familiar voice of his boss, Principal Nezu. Aizawa's eyes snapped open. "Excuse me?" he said, hoping that he heard wrong. "You are going to be teaching Midoriya alongside 1A. After all, he should be a certified pro before he becomes principal." "No." "We have to teach the kid," Yamada said quietly, quieter than Aizawa had ever heard him before. "Yes, we will have to teach him," Aizawa said gravely, just wanting to sleep and make it through another day without the chaos that the kid was causing. "But how?" piped up Nemuri from the other side of the room. "How are we supposed to teach a kid who knows everything?" Yamada asked for her. "You don't," Nezu said, landing on Aizawa's back. He probably jumped out of the vent onto Aizawa. Midoriya better not learn that. "We don't?" Yamada asked. "Midoriya doesn't know everything yet. He's still my student, still learning the ins and outs of the school." "Yet," Aizawa realized dejectedly. "You said the kid doesn't know everything yet." Aizawa trailed off, watching the horrified looks on his co-workers' faces. "Of course, in time, Midoriya will learn everything there is to know," Nezu explained, finally hopping off his back. "How much time do we have?" Nemuri asked. Probably about 4 years." There goes Aizawa's retirement plans. Guess I'll start working on my will then. Aizawa stood, walking towards the door. Aizawa? Yamada called. Aizawa, don't kill yourself! The familiar voice had green hair and came out of the same vent that his teacher had come out of. Aizawa didn't want to teach this kid, didn't want to interact more than necessary. He just didn't want to. Not today, not tomorrow, and especially not the days when Nedzu would hide in a room and Midoriya would have to find him through the air vents. Fuck no. Not ever. Aizawa was too tired for this shit. Alright, my stars, that was the end of the fic. It was kind of funny with how Aizawa has to deal with Midoriya now and that. But I also liked that we saw Midoriya interacting with Bakugou. Like, we can see that Midoriya isn't scared of him anymore, so we can see that now. And we can see that, like, Bakugou, like, I don't know why, but he, like, seems calmer when he knows that Midoriya wants to fight. I don't know why I like that. It's like nice. I don't know, but yeah, that's like mostly all I had to say about this fic. Yeah, and yeah, but that's like mostly all I had to say. So if any of you guys have any fic recommendations, you can put them in the comments, and I would love to see them. My Discord server and socials are in the description, so you can go check them out. But yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, my stars!